Amazon FBA is dead. It's too late to start Amazon FBA. I get so many messages every day asking about this. I'm seeing it more and more in Facebook groups, and it's getting slightly annoying. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why I'm not even worried about this stuff. And I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how I'm going to be launching my next product and brand without using viral launch or a launch service. So stick around if you want to see any of that. So before we get into this video, which I think is going to be one of the most valuable videos I've done, you'll see why. Congrats to the giveaway winner. Contact me on Facebook to make this work. And if you want to win the next one, I give you guys the chance to win a 1-hour free call with me. All you have to do is click the thumbs up, leave a comment saying you want to win, and click on the bell right here. And that's it. So let me tell you what we're going to be talking about in this video, why and how I came up with this whole thing, my thought process. So do you know what funnel hacking is? So funnel hacking is essentially looking at your competitors or just anyone who's doing business well, seeing their sales funnels, seeing how they grew, mapping that out, and then copying it, just doing your version of it. And what I'm going to be doing to launch my next product and brand is funnel hacking myself. What does that even mean? I'll explain. So if you've been watching me for a while, you know how I started this YouTube channel and this whole Amazon journey and how I got to this point. But if not, what's up? My name is Brax. If you're new here, I sell on Amazon and I've documented the whole process on this channel, and I teach you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So I started this channel without an audience. No one knew who I was. I was just this kid trying to start this Amazon thing, and eventually I got to this point with, I think it's about 18,000 subscribers now, a Facebook group with 2,000 people, which aren't really crazy numbers, but it's something pretty significant. I mean, I was able to quit my job because of all this stuff. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking back and seeing how I grew this channel and how I got this audience and trying to build an audience for my next product. And the reason I'm saying I'm funnel hacking myself instead of just redoing what I did is because everything I've done with YouTube and growing an audience here was just based on intuition. I didn't really plan anything. I didn't have like a master list of things to do to get to this point. So everything I've done was based on intuition. And at this point, I'm looking back and I'm breaking it down to see how I started, how I got my first audience, my first few people, and then how I grew it to 18,000 people. And then after I wrote this whole thing down, which I'm going to tell you step by step in this video, I'm going to be replicating it to, instead of having the audience be interested in Amazon FBA, you guys, I'll have the audience be interested in my product. And instead of me being the personal brand, I'll have my brand be that brand that's building the audience, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So to recap it all, I built an audience on this channel, as you guys can see, from scratch, from 0 to whatever you see now. It's at 18,000 now. And I'm replicating the way I built that audience to build an audience for my Amazon FBA product, which I'm going to be launching soon. And this way, since I have an audience, I can sell them a product, my product, and not have to use viral launch. And I can sell them future products since they're my audience and I have them somewhere, as opposed to Amazon where you're always trying to get that next customer. So let's get into the 6 steps of how I'm doing this. And by the way, guys, I got a new editor. His name is Elliot. You guys have been loving the last few videos, their edits, and that's because he's been doing them. Check his channel below. He does some, I think he has just one video up now, but it's amazing. So here are the 6 steps. Step 1, find the community that you're targeting. Step 2, engage with the community. Step 3, position yourself as a leader in the community. Step 4, spread your message across multiple platforms. Step 5, give more value. And step 6, control your audience. So step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just gonna go indoors to explain all this stuff because it's getting hot. And yeah, I know Montreal, Quebec, hot, it happens. So to make things simple, I'm gonna be comparing 2 things. My personal brand side of it, which I did and which I'm now trying to remap, and then the product side of it. So I'm going to tell you how I did all these things on the personal brand side and then how I'm translating it to the product side. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 was find where the community is hanging out. So back then, when I started Amazon FBA and when I started learning about it, actually let me take you back to where this whole thing started. This is where it all happened. This is where the magic started. That was here on my desk where I started learning about Amazon. And then eventually when I got into YouTube, this was my setup. So I'd have this light, which would have this thing, but I'd remove it. And then I'd turn it on. And then I'd have Paint open to use that white light on my face plus this light. And then I would use my phone. Oh, it's dusty. I haven't used that one in a while. I'd put it just like that, and then with the front screen, I'd record myself. I'd be sitting right here with these ghetto lights, filming myself on this camera. So I was learning about Amazon FBA, watching YouTube videos, and then at some point I had questions. And naturally, I wanted to ask someone these questions. No one around me knew what Amazon FBA is, which I'm assuming you guys are in the same position. I went to Facebook groups. I found a bunch of Amazon FBA Facebook groups. I joined them and I started asking questions there. So number one is find your community. That's what I did on the personal brand side. Now, translate this to the product side. What I'm doing now to build this audience for my product is I'm figuring out, and what you should be doing is figuring out where the community is hanging out for that niche. So are they in Facebook groups? Maybe not. Are they only on Instagram? Are they only on YouTube? Figure out where the audience is, and that would be step one. Step two is engage with that audience. So again, on the personal brand side, I joined all these Facebook groups and then I started asking my questions. Whenever I had any questions about Amazon FBA, I just go to the groups, ask them there, and then eventually I was making friends there because I asked questions and most of the time it was the same people that answered these questions. So I was engaging with that community. I was letting people know who I am just by being there. And if we translate that to the product side, what I'll be doing to grow that audience is once I find the community, I'll engage with it, as in I'll figure out how they talk to each other, what they talk about, and then join the conversation. That's basically it. Just join the conversation. Number three is position yourself as a leader in that community. So back then, again, once I started asking questions, once I started getting to know the people, eventually I knew enough to answer questions. So I started asking questions and answering questions, and more people knew my name. And again, like I said at the beginning, this whole thing wasn't planned. I just did this by intuition. I was just learning about Amazon FBA and that's how it happened. And then now I'm realizing that this works, this step-by-step thing works to build an audience, and that's how I'm replicating it, and that's what I'm sharing here. So back then, I answered a lot of questions, and then eventually, questions started coming to me. People knew who Brax was just because I was there a lot, and then they asked me questions because they saw that I was getting some success. They saw that, you know, I've been here long enough and I'm doing this now. So in a way, I became the go-to guy for beginners to ask questions about Amazon FBA. So translating this to the product side, once you've found the community, once you've engaged with the community, and once you become part of that community, start answering a lot of questions so that eventually you become someone known as a leader in that community, or someone that knows a lot in that niche, whatever the niche is, whether it's in the kitchen category, whether it's in the outdoors category. Enter that community and become a leader in it. And that's what I'm doing now. Number four was spread your message. Once I started getting a lot of questions, a lot of them were almost the same questions. And then I was typing the exact same answer over and over again. So then I realized, why not just put that answer in a YouTube video and post it on YouTube, and then whenever someone asks me that question, I just refer them to the video instead of just retyping everything. And that's actually how this channel was born. And if you want to start a channel, then this whole video is perfect for you. But again, this is about growing an audience for Amazon FBA, and translating this point to the product side means that once people start knowing who you are, spread your message on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, as many channels as possible. One, so that these people that already know you can get more free value from you, and two, so that your message can grow organically, which also means your audience is going to grow organically. And guys, if you like this content, please subscribe and click on the bell to get notified when I post these videos. And yeah, let's continue. Number five was give value, or give more value, because this whole time we've been giving free value and we haven't been selling anything, not our product, nothing. So this point I did not do for my personal brand. If I wanted to sell you guys a course back then, which I actually never intended to and still haven't, I would have given you something for free in exchange for your email so that I can build an email list. So if you look at other YouTubers who are selling you courses, you can see that they give you a free ebook. Why? Not to teach you something, because usually that ebook is like small and there's some value in it, but it's not going to teach you everything. But the point of that ebook is to collect your email so that once they launch their course, they have that whole list to launch it to. So if I were to sell you guys a course back when I started that YouTube channel, I would have given you a free ebook or a free something, a free 5 steps to this, to that, just to collect your email. And I would also do Facebook bots with ManyChat. So translating that to the Amazon FBA side, side, to the product side, once you've grown that audience and once you have your own channels for that audience, give them something for free in exchange for their email or their contact or their Facebook Messenger. Because email and Facebook Messenger is probably the easiest way to directly contact them once you've launched your product. And number 6, the last point, is to control your community. Now, control might not be the best word. I just couldn't think of a better word. But what I mean by that is, after I started my YouTube channel, after I grew that audience, that small audience on YouTube, the next step for me was I built a Facebook group, which is linked below. Join the Facebook group. So I did that mainly so I can get in more contact with you guys, get to know you guys, and then invite you to events, give you discounts, all that stuff. Translate this to the product side, to the Amazon side. This means that put your audience in a controlled place, in a place where you can communicate with them and you can get to know them on a personal level. That can be a Facebook group. I didn't put that first where I talked about spread your message, because now it's more about putting your audience in one place and having them getting to know each other. So now you guys are in my Facebook group, you're making friends there, you're growing that community, and I'm connecting with you guys in a more direct way. So in that last point, once you've grown your audience, put them in one place so that they get to know each other and they become more comfortable with the brand and they want to represent that brand. And once they start talking to each other, engaging in that group, with Facebook's algorithm, that group will grow even larger, your audience will grow. The people in that group can even go to YouTube or Instagram if they're not there yet. Everything can grow from that point. So that was the last point, and that's where I'm at in my personal brand journey. I have a YouTube channel, I have Instagram, which I kind of use, but follow me on Instagram because I'm gonna use it much more now. And I have the Facebook group, which is linked below. Join it. This wasn't supposed to be a promo for all this stuff, but it ended up being. And at this point, I can technically sell you guys anything that's valuable, of course, because I have the audience for Amazon FBA. So if I were to ever create a software around Amazon FBA, I have the audience for it. The product is the software, the audience is the Amazon FBA interested audience. So on the product side, the audience is whatever your niche is, and the product is whatever your Amazon FBA product is that you're gonna launch. Translate everything just as I did now and start from step 1, grow your audience, and then after step 6, launch your product to your YouTube. You don't even have to have YouTube, but to your Instagram, to your Facebook group, which is very important, to your email list, to your Facebook Messenger list. You have all these places to launch your product to. There is almost no excuse to use Viral Launch or ZonJump. That's what I'm doing now, and that's what I hope that you guys do as well if you want to grow a brand on Amazon. And I mean, if you don't, you can still be successful on Amazon, but that's not the route that I'm taking, because in my opinion, building a brand on Amazon is the way to be successful on Amazon and do this for a long time. And here's a bonus one for you. Step number 7 or 6 plus, or bonus step, it's obviously influencers. So after I did this whole thing, I started reaching out to people who are in my niche, people like Matt Loberstein, people like Brock Johnson, Tom Wong, and I'm like, how can we work together? Let's do a video together so that your audience can meet my audience and so that we can both grow. Translate to the product side, contact influencers. You have your audience, okay, good, but there's other audiences out there that could be interested in your product or in your brand. So contact influencers, share your message with other audiences, and that was the bonus one. So if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. This was a video that I wanted to do for a while, and I think it's gonna be very helpful to you guys. If you wanna see more videos like this, subscribe and click on that bell. I mean, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I just finished editing this video and I realized that I did not explicitly answer the first question, which was, is Amazon FBA dead and why I'm not worried about that stuff? And if I didn't make it clear in this video, I'm not worried at all because I'm building my own audience. So whether Amazon FBA is dead or not, which it's not, I'm building my own audience, which if Amazon ever dies, which what does that even mean? I'll have my own audience outside of Amazon. So that's the answer to some of you who might think, what about that first question? And super quick announcement, if you made it this far, crazy, amazing, thank you. Matt Loberstein, the course that I took that I recommend, highly recommend, he's doing a Prime Day or Prime Week discount. It's $300 off. And if you want it, there's a link in the description below, and it ends Saturday night. So get it quickly. There's a bunch of people that already got it from my Facebook group. And if you do get it, let me know in the comments below and I'll set you up with the 3 free calls which come with my link. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.